is a Garifuna Settlement Day themed show if we don't have our drumming and music. And that was just an introduction. We're going to have a bit more later. But we have on couch with us Garifuna historian and from the Luba Garifuna Cultural Museum, Sebastian Cayetano. Right. Good morning, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, thank you.
That's right.
And our theme for this celebration is Garifuna, Risiti, Pantati, Gabafut, Inyuro Ho Memela. Garifuna, Risiti, Pantati, Gabafut, Inyuro Ho Memela. Meaning Garifuna, rich, proud, powerful. Let us continue to preserve it, preserve the culture.
Yes.
At this point, I would also like to introduce our drummers.
Sure.
We have Mrs. Bridget Pearl Miranda, Miss Jerome,
Belize
for 2016-2017. Then we have Mr. Anthony Flores, and we have Miss Dolmo, Verica Dolmo. Okay.
All right.
That's the crew.
Yes.
That's the crew.
To start off the morning right on this eve of Garifuna Settlement Day.
That's correct.
Now we know that your work through the museum has been a year-round opportunity for people to learn about the Garifuna culture.
That's quite true.
But we're capitalizing on your knowledge at this point to kind of remind people when they're celebrating this day about the meaning of the history itself. Right. Let me just start off by talking about the level of interest that you see today in the Garifuna culture over the past couple of years.
Yes.
How would you say it is? Are we seeing more people interested in understanding the culture?
Yeah, more people in understanding the culture and more Garinago in participating in the culture.
Nice.
And a lot of this we owe thanks to the National Garifuna Council of Belize, our national president, Ms. Sandra Zuniga. Miss Sandra Miranda. She's heading the she's the head of the National Garifuna Council. And then here in Belize City, we have Ms. Cynthia Cayetano, head of the National Garifuna Council Belize City branch. Yes.
One of the things that we have noticed as well is that Garifuna is becoming a way of life. And it seems to be catching on with all the cultures in terms of Garifuna being a way of life.
Yeah.
What else will the National Garifuna Council, what will the National Garifuna Council continue to do to continue to promote this?
Promoting the culture. And one of the big concerns is the Garifuna language. Garifuna language, Garifuna craft, art, and the whole works. You know. It's a challenge, but we are working on it. We are working on it, and we need to work. We need to redouble our effort. Yes.
Now, I love your theme in terms of rich, proud, and powerful. Let us continue to preserve it.
Yes.
And actually, our conversation for today we've tailored to be very specific, right? And I think this is such a wonderful opportunity because we really don't look at it at the people. The Garifuna people who have contributed to our society in a very significant way.
That's
pioneers in their own field.
That's right.
And so we put together a bunch of people, right?
Yes. And before we get on that list, in recognition of our people's contribution, last night the National Garifuna Council, Belize City branch, along with the Mexican Institute of Culture, we honored 10 persons last night.
Excellent.
Thanks to President Ms. Cynthia Cayetano and her executive. We honored Mrs. Telma Martinez, Ms. Lena Cayetano, Ms. Isabel Castillo, Cristina Castillo, Ivy Palacio, musician, Rose Morris, teachers. Okay. And then we have here a musician, Ivor Cacho, Mr. Cacho, who plays saxophone. And we have 2 lawyers here, lawyer Philip Zuniga, senior lawyer, and Judge Adolph Lucas. Yes. And then we did not leave out Mayor Darrell Bradley, the mayor of Belize City, who has been very extremely kind and supportive
of the Garifuna
Council.
Why were these people honored?
For their contributions. They have been outstanding in their contribution to Belize. Most of them, the women, have been teachers, educators. And then Lawyer Philip Zuniga has been the lawyer for National Garifuna Council. And of course, we only have 2 Garifuna judges, Judge Adolf Lucas and Judge Michelle Arana. Yes. And the mayor himself, very, very supportive.
So these are the new honorees in terms of their contribution, Garifuna people, to the wider public. So it's not about, that's what I love about it. This is not, and the people we're going to talk about, it's not about them contributing only to the Garifuna culture.
No,
they are
to Belize.
Garifuna people who have contributed to the development of this country.
That's correct.
And we start off first with the first Roman Catholic Bishop of Belize. Let's talk about that.
Right, Reverend Bishop Osman Peter Martin.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And we know there's a very strong, and this is also a part of your culture, the relationship between the Catholic Church and the Garifuna culture.
That's
right?
quite true. I would say between 90 and 95% of Garifuna are Roman Catholics. Yes. And as such, we have embraced the church, and the church has embraced us in the process. And we're happy for this. And then you only need to go to St. Martin's on the 3rd Sunday of the month, where we have this Garifuna and English Mass together.
That's right.
And the Mrs. Telma Martinez and the Garifuna choir doing a thing.
Yeah.
Yes. But back to Bishop Opie Martin. I think it was God's work, it was God's plan, and to us it's a triumph for the Garifuna people, for all our labors in the hinterlands of Belize to bring education and evangelization to our people in Belize.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think what's key to it as well, and part of the list that you spoke about, is also how through the churches, a lot of Garifuna people have become teachers, and very instrumental teachers in the education sector.
Teachers, we have priests as well, nuns, Sister Barbara Flores, we have Father Cayetano, Callistus Cayetano, my brother, Father Larry Nicasio, and of course, and we go way back, you know. The first ordained Garifuna priest was Father Philip Marin in 1931 from Dangriga. We go way back. And then we became Catholic way from St. Vincent. Yes, we had Father Raymond Breton preaching to us, baptizing our people.
Excellent.
And by the time we reached Honduras, we were already Catholic. And Belize, I'm told that the Catholic Church came after us into Belize.
Wow.
Back in Mullins River.
Excellent in terms of being historic. On the pioneers side, politicians, then again civil society. Honorable Sylvia Flores, TV Ramos, Dr. Theodore Aranda. Can you elaborate on these folks?
Yes. Okay.
Let's start with TV Ramos. He's of course the most well-known, right?
To Bishop Martin, I wish him speedy recovery. We were praying for his recovery.
Can I just say before we move into the rest, Bishop Martin, of course, returned home. He's back in Dangriga.
Yes, having served Belize for 25 years.
And he's still hanging on. Something about the water in Dangriga is keeping him going. He must be about what? He's
in his 80s.
80s, 90s, 80s. So we know that he served Belize for a very long time, still going. And of course, it's the good food and treatment in Dangriga keeping him going. But as you said, you're wishing him speedy recovery at this point.
And I also wish him happy birthday in advance. Next month is his birthday.
Wow.
So Bishop, hang in there.
All right.
So TV Ramos.
Thomas Vincent Ramos, a great visionary leader. We owe a lot to Thomas Vincent Ramos. He was born in Tulane, Honduras, Puerto Cortes, 1887, and passed away in Dangriga November 13th, 1955.
Wow.
Even before that, TV Ramos was an organizer. He organized he founded several organizations in Dangriga, among them Carib Development Society, Carib International Society, and then he found Garifuna Settlement Day. He found that.
The celebration.
The celebration. He said 19th of November. So we arrived here 1802, 19th November. And then he approached the governor, give us a day to celebrate our day.
Yeah.
The governor concurred, and the official holiday started in 1943 in Dangriga, 1944 to Punta Gorda. But it was only in the south.
Yes.
So while we people in the south celebrated, the rest of Belize went to work. But it was also disadvantage to our Garinago people in Corozal or in Joacayo. They also want to celebrate. So many times they had to skip work to go south.
Yeah.
But thanks to the government, they wised up and said, no, let's make this a national public and bank holiday since 1977.
And we all enjoy it.
Everybody,
the food, the party, and everything else in between.
And then, in addition to this, National Garifuna Council was formed October 1981.
Okay.
October 1981. And we had our first official meeting December 6, 1981. And the first president was a woman, Mrs. Phyllis Cayetano.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
So back to the politicians. Of course, we all remember Honorable Sylvia Flores.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now, there are many distinctions about Honorable Sylvia Flores. She was the first female Speaker of the House.
That's right.
Yes. She told us men, shut up, 31 of them, in her house. In her house.
She was Minister of Defense.
Minister of Defense.
Yeah.
Then Minister of Social Government later on. Then 2003 to 2008, she was elected the first woman area representative for Dangriga. And she served in that capacity for 5 good years.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So she played a role. She was a pioneer. Let's talk about Dr. Theodore Aranda.
Okay, Dr. Theodore Aranda has been a great politician. We owe him quite a few things. Now, Dr. Theodore Aranda was the leader of the opposition when Belize achieved independence in 1981.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Then he became Minister of Health and other things. But one of the things that we will most, as Garinago, will most remember Dr. Aranda for is that monument he had built in Dangriga. The monument dedicated to the arrival, survival, and prosperity of Garinago in Belize and Central America.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
Moving on
let's
to,
move on to arts
and culture.
culture.
Arts and culture.
And we were just talking about him, and I think Belizeans, there's no way they can't know about Pen Cayetano and his contributions.
Yes.
But let's go through it once again.
And then even before Penn, we had Mr. Benjamin Nicholas.
Okay, I've heard.
The late Benjamin Nicholas.
His phenomenal artwork.
Phenomenal, yes. And his slant was history.
Yes.
Depicting Garifuna history in paintings. That was so great.
The most detailed work you could find.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And his work can be seen at Atlantic Bank
Okay,
and other places.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Penkai. I really admire Penkai. Penkai is versatile.
Yeah.
He's both an artist, painter, and musician. A rare combination of talent. Yes. Now, Penn went to Germany with his wife. They stayed there for 20 years. And he still promoted Garifuna culture and art to the Germans. And they loved it.
They loved it, yes.
Yes, they loved
it. He was actually, a lot of people look up to Penn in terms of promoting culture abroad and, of course, back here at home.
Exactly.
And congratulations with his work. He'll be doing a launch actually today.
In Dangriga.
Yes, his studio, his artwork.
I visited Penn's studio in Dangriga. It's a great studio.
It
is.
Yeah.
It is.
I had the opportunity to visit a couple
there.
years ago, and here's the thing that I love.
Okay.
And it's something about people in Dangriga, because if we look at Dr. Grant, who built the cancer center there, there are many people who leave, but when they come back, they want to go there, and that's what Penn did. Penn opened his studio.
Right.
Could have done it in Belize City, could have done it in Cayo.
Yeah,
there are more tourists there, but he went back home and established the gallery there.
And that's the idea. We have to come back home.
You have to come back home. Now we move on to Andy P. Andy
Palacio.
Palacio.
By Andy Palacio, Paul Nabor, and later Aurelio Martinez moved Garinago and Belize to the world stage.
That's right.
In music. In music.
Yeah.
And it was all in Garifuna. not English or something else, all in Garifuna. You know, the rhythms of the drums and the guitars. But
yeah.
now, Andy Palacio really taught us a lot of things, a lot of things that are possible. You know, it's a pity that he left us too early.
Yeah.
But even so, Andy told us, teach our language. Let me give you what he said in his songs.
In his songs, yeah. When you translate his songs, it's a call to the Garinago.
Exactly.
It's about keeping your culture.
His song Amiag, Andy says, I wonder who will bake cassava bread for us in times to come. I wonder who will speak with me in Garifuna in times to come. I wonder who will sing Arumani songs with me in times to come. I wonder who will heal us with the good in times to come. He says, the time has come for it to be preserved. The time has come for it to be taught. The time has come for it to be preserved, lest we lose it altogether. Our ancestors fought to remain Garifuna. Why must we be the ones to lose our culture? Let's not do it. Parents, please listen to me. Teach your children our language, our songs, our beliefs, our dances. The time has come for it to be preserved. The time has come for it to be taught. The time has come for it to be preserved, lest we lose it altogether. Lest we lose it altogether. And I can really, really relate and identify with Andy's yearnings, his fears. 1979, Andy went to Nicaragua, and there he discovered Garifuna for the first time in Nicaragua. Now, Andy went in a social gathering there, and the last speakers of Garifuna were invited. 4 men in their 80s. They were 80-year-olds. And then when they saw Andy, a young man, speaking to them in their language, tears came to their eyes. Yes, because they never believed that there was still...
It was still being passed on in other places, And that's what you fight to keep going here in Belize. And we still see. I mean, you have your teenagers who compete in the pageants, who have to know dances, they have to know proper dress, they need to know proper way of speaking. So we know it's happening.
And in addition to that, then you have the Battle of the Drums, actually teaching our young men to handle the drums.
And that was credit to Darius Avila. Now, why is the establishment of the Battle of the Drums such a significant contribution?
Oh, very significant, because, well, like in everything, we tend to, well, maybe no fault of ours, the focus has been on our females, on our girls, and they're doing well. And there has been less focus on the males, our youths. So when Darius Avila came in this idea for our young men, it gives them something to do and something to look forward to, and also promote the culture and keep the drumming alive. And we cannot forget Mr. Asin Rodriguez and his daughters in Dangriga for making the drums.
Where you can go and see how it's done.
Exactly.
Sometimes even get your own made there as well, and he keeps on passing on the knowledge as well.
Very, very important.
So
is Mr. Rudolph Coleman in Hopkins. He also makes drum. And our friend here, Ivan Solano, Sogidi, makes drums, and he plays the drums.
So we you know, and I just a quick back to the Battle of the Drums. Besides playing the drums, you also learn the language in terms of singing the songs.
Exactly.
So this is definitely an enhancer, especially to our young men.
But let's back to our young ladies with the pageant, the Queen's pageant, the Miss Garifuna Belize pageant, sponsored by the National Garifuna Council. It's a work in process for our young ladies. From the first time they begin to practice, and then they appear on the local stage, and then they appear on the national stage. You know, after that, it boosts their ego. It affirms and validates them for who they are.
And it's a pageant, but the pageant is driven by how well you know your culture, which I think is phenomenal. There's also the establishment of the Wanaragua competition.
That's right.
Another event that's really meant to hold on to tradition.
And
I think
we had thanks for that to Roy Cayetano, for Jerry's Valentine, and Kasha Nunez, and a few other men in the Angriga. The rebirth of the Wanaragua. Every year now we have the junior Wanaragua contest and then the senior Wanaragua contest.
Which is Jankono.
Yes.
So I hope people know by now Wanaragua is Jankono. But Jankono, and here's the thing. I think we were having a conversation yesterday and we were talking about when we were younger, you would see the Jankono in their full dress. You would never, and which is one of the rules now that we know, you never take off your mask while you're in costume. You're really supposed to stay in costume the whole while. And we've seen that dwindle a bit, you know, people wearing maybe just the ribbons and the white shirt and the mask. But now, with the help of this competition and the education, people are going back to tradition.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, and then while we've got all this, there's also the health aspect of our lives, and which was touched heavily by the Garifuna people, of course. Dr. Claudina Cayetano, who was actually first psychiatrist in Belize.
That's correct.
And Hazel Cayetano, public health nurse and midwife.
That's right, in Punta Gorda. And also, she's the president of the Garifuna Council, Belize City branch.
Wow.
Yes. And under her, we have Miss Paine winning the national pageant this year.
If I'm not mistaken, Miss Hazel is also the lady behind Libaya Chango.
Libaya Chango. Yes, Libaya Chango.
That's right.
So there we have Dr. Cayetano on screen, just so people know who they're seeing.
Thanks to the contribution of Libaya Chango. And that really helps those girls bloom and blossom, my brother.
All right.
Yes. They always, as a matter of fact, perform during intermission there in PG4, the Battle of the Drums.
That's correct.
So, which is you know, actually helping the culture.
It does. Youth, man.
Now we got to start with recognition for one of Belize's top athletes. And I think, you know, this is one young lady we love talking to. She's so inspirational and fights so hard to excel in her professional career. Kaina Martinez.
Kaina Martinez, hailing from Saint Bite.
Saint Bite Village.
Yes. I'm told she's the fastest runner in Belize and in Central America.
That's right.
It's a young woman.
And
now, you wonder, how comes she could not represent us as the Rio's Brazil? Is it that she's not financially connected or politically connected? Why? We've got to showcase our daughters, our runners, our athletes. We need to.
We saw this year, when you're right, Kaina was not afforded the opportunity to go to the Rio Olympics, that the Garifuna Council stepped in to issue a statement on their disappointment that things had followed through in that way, because she is an ambassador, not just for Belize, but for the Garifuna culture.
She's an ambassador the way this young girl, Biles, from
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Whose roots, of course, is Garifuna.
Her brother was the granddaughter of Silas Cayetano, my uncle. She won how many? 4 golds out there.
Yeah. She excelled in the gymnastics.
Nearly everything gold.
Exactly.
And sticking to the point of Garifuna with Simone Biles, she was in Belize a few months ago for a wedding with her brother, which was actually a Garifuna team wedding.
Good. That's nice. That's nice.
And of course, the thing with, going back to Kaina, of course, I think one of the things I admire the most about Kaina is that, again, similar to what we spoke about with Penn, she does a free youth camp, athletic camp, back home in her village every summer. She went off to school, she got a scholarship to Texas A&M.
That's right.
And so she's studying, she's getting her degree, but when she comes back to the summer, she hosts a youth camp to help train young runners in her own village, which I think is so admirable. So that's definitely a great pioneer for you guys.
And what I like about Kaina, and of course most of Garinogo, we are like oil under the water. My brother, no matter what, we will surface.
That's right.
Nice.
We will surface.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, we of course always touch in with Kaina, and we always wish her the best. So we know she still has great things coming for her as well.
Exactly.
And Damien Parshu?
Yeah, Damien Parshu grew up here in Belize City, but he has become one of our young, prominent Gayusa choir leaders, especially in the Dabuyaba temple. Yes, he's great, he's great. And along with him, in Punta Gorda, we have Mrs. Eloda and Alberto, and her son, Mario and Alberto,
yes,
principal, former principal of St. Peter Clever. Yes, this is the way we make an effort to keep the culture alive.
That's right.
And what this does more than anything else, I want to ask you just, how do you use these people? Because we're not good in Belize in general in recognizing our own talents and bigging up our own people. We look at when somebody makes it abroad and says, oh, okay, now they're recognized by foreigners, so we can recognize them here. How do you take these very things? I mean, when you talk about first Catholic bishop, first psychiatrist in Belize, you talk about first musician to make it as far as Andy P did. All these people who have, and that was just a couple of them, Kaina and her record-breaking performance all over. What do how do you use these people to keep on pushing to the Garifuna youths that they can and they have all the examples that they need to be able to excel?
These are models, man. These are our models. You know, and I wish pictures of these people should be placed in prominent places all over the country now, so that our youths can see, not only Garifuna, but all Belizeans can see, we can be one of those. We can be like one of those. You know, but we need to promote our own. We need to promote our people. Validate them. Talk to them. Talk about them to our youths. Show them on TV all day long.
We know that the NGC, we know that the NGC is doing more than enough work to eventually enhance the Garifuna culture, which we have seen. Time ago, we were talking about how the Garifuna culture is actually dwindling, how it's going down. Today we're proud enough to say that, you know what, everybody is actually doing something Garifuna.
Exactly.
You know, everybody is doing that. We know that you've got a heavy hand.
We're also happy that Belize is also
embracing it.
Embracing it. Has embraced it. We cannot forget Godfrey's show in Punta Gorda, the Mayan Parandero. This is inclusion.
Don't forget as well the guy we had on the show with the La Rubea drummers, Mr. I think it's Duran, if I'm not mistaken, who actually brought the band back together here in Belize City. The band that we've got in Belize City.
And he sings in Garifuna.
And he sings in Garifuna. He plays the sisira, you know, and so all these things, we know that other cultures are catching on to what we do as Garifuna people. We know that you've got a heavy hand NGC Belize City, and we have spoken about what will be taking place in Dangriga for the 19th. What will be going on today and tomorrow in Belize City?
Well, here tonight at the BTL Park, there will be all-night drumming with La Rubea boys there. And then tomorrow morning, I will have the reenactment. The reenactment will be performed at Belcan Bridge. Mayor Bradley will be there to receive our people, welcome them. And then from there we parade to St. Martin's Church, where we'll have Mass there at 8 o'clock in the morning. If you want to attend Mass at Martin's tomorrow, be there by 7:30 because
it's a full house.
Yes. Then after the Mass, I hope Bishop Chris Clancy can make it. He has expressed a desire along with Father Snyder, so I hope he makes it. Yes, good. So then after the Mass, we'll parade to BTL Park. We'll have the official ceremonies and all day jamming.
All right, so there's definitely lots you can catch if you're in Belize City for tomorrow, the 19th. Mr. Cayetano, we want to thank you for joining us this morning for discussing all these great pioneers for our country, who happen to be of the Garifuna culture. I think it's a great conversation, one we don't talk about enough. So definitely setting the tone as we celebrate Garifuna Settlement Day tomorrow. We're going to close off this segment now with some more music. Because we all love to hear some good drumming, and you'll be hearing it all day, but we're going to give you the right start this morning. So let's have our drummers take us out with a performance, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap-up, so stay tuned.